Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Tennessee Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you are here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are there, ready and available to answer your questions. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. And lastly, this recording will be available a week from today. All sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Tennessee. We are currently in session C4, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this will also be the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first representative from Eastern Kentucky University.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm super excited to share with you guys. So I'm sharing my screen. All right, there we go. Okay, so welcome. My name is Yami Pena-Perez. I am an admissions counselor here at Eastern Kentucky University. So let's talk a little bit about EKU. We are actually located in the Bluegrass region in the Appalachian foothills and referred to as Campus Beautiful. Whenever you come on tour to our campus, you'll realize why we're called Campus Beautiful. Sometimes I can't believe it. It's so beautiful. Our main campus is located in Richmond, Kentucky. We have regional campuses in Manchester and Corbin. Our enrollment is nearly 15,000 students. We have state-of-the-art science buildings, new residence halls, dining halls, recreation center, renovated student union building, and also a center for the arts. We are known as the School of Opportunity, and nearly 30% of our students are first in their family to attend college. I actually went to EKU and I am a first generation student, so I am definitely glad I went there and I can vouch for them. So let's talk a little bit about the academic overview. We have over 100 career-focused programs. We have renowned programs in Homeland Security, criminal justice, aviation, nursing, forensic science, PGA golf management, American Sign Language interpreter, and we also have an honors program. We have 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So like I said, we're a mid-sized university, and more than 70% of our graduates are employed in Kentucky 1 year after graduation, which is the highest percentage among all public institutions in the state. I was hired onto EKU about less than 4 months after I graduated. So again, I can vouch for that. Let's talk a little bit about the student life. We have over 200 organizations that you can join. If it's not there, just grab a little group and you can actually start your own organization on campus. We have fraternities, sororities, community service, study abroad, all these cool things. We are Division I in the NCAA. We have 6 men and 8 women's sports on campus. We also have intramural sports, and all students get to attend the games for free. I don't want to cover too much on the recreation center, but it is new. It's got a bunch of really cool things in it, as you can see on this list. Like I already mentioned, we have intramural sports, we have group fitness classes, we also have adventure trips, which is super, super cool around here. We're only like 10-15 minutes from a place called the Pinnacles. And if you like to hike, that's a beautiful place to go. I try and go almost every weekend if I can. And then if you see down there, that is our rock climbing wall, and it's actually in the shape of one of the landmarks here in Kentucky called Natural Bridge. We do have dining meal plans. We also have a new dining hall called Case Dining Hall. And then underneath Case, there's also places like Subway, Chick-fil-A, Pan Express, Moe's, and things like that. There is housing and parking. Freshmen are allowed to bring their cars on campus. We actually let them, so it's really cool. We also have a Biggie Transit in case you can't bring a car. We have transportation on campus that is free to students that'll take you to where you need to go. There's financial aid. You can get grants, loans. You can also work on campus. That is our FAFSA code at the bottom. And we are rolling admissions, so you can still apply to the university. We also have scholarships right now. A lot of them are past the deadline, unfortunately, but this is kind of a list of the ones that we have. And like I said, they're kind of past the deadline, but if you're a junior, these are the ones that you can definitely apply to. Now with admissions, like I said, it's rolling. We are free to apply and test optional. There's a little bit more about that. And in order to apply, you just go in, put your application, send us your high school transcript. And like I said, there's a couple other things there that you can look at. Another really cool thing I would like to mention is that we are now doing something called a Book Smart program. So if you come to EKU, we give you your books for free. So that's an awesome thing that we just started, and it's pretty cool. We also have virtual services, so you can do appointments with us, visits, live chats, and things like that. But if you have any other questions, just let me know. Again, my name is Yami, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. The next representative is from Western Kentucky University.
Okay, guys, I'm going to share my screen with you really quickly. Why did I just click on file? Okay, slideshow. Okay, from beginning. Perfect. Okay, my name is Michaela Kennard, and I'm an admissions counselor here at WKU. And today I'm just going to share some information about WKU with you guys. Okay, so our campus, we are located in Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is the third largest city in the state of Tennessee. I mean, not Tennessee, in the state of Kentucky. We do have roughly 18,000 students currently enrolled at WKU, but this does include all of our web students, our students at our other campuses throughout Kentucky, and then on campus. Our average class size is 24 students, so that's pretty comparative to a standard high school classroom. So it's not going to be that different if you were to attend WKU. I'm so sorry. Forgot to turn my video on. Sorry, guys. Let's get back to this. Okay, perfect. And our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. So that just means here at WKU, we like to keep our classes small, just because we think it's really important that you make those relationships with like your fellow classmates and your faculty and your professors throughout your college career. So we do have over 300 registered student organizations here on campus, but these are just some additional opportunities that we do have. We have Greek Life, religious clubs, and campus ministries. We have a 24-hour computer lab. I know throughout my college career, I was in our computer lab. It's called Mass. I was in there many nights when I would forget to work on a paper and I didn't want to bother my roommate. And things like that. So we do have that 24-hour computer lab. We have free access to our fitness facilities, and we do have all student parking. So all freshman students are available, and they do have the option to bring their car to campus. You would just have to purchase a parking permit. So scholarships, these are our academic merit-based awards. So they do begin at a 3.0 and they go up to a 4.0. And these are just based on your current high school transcript that you do submit when you do apply to WKU. So you turn in that high school transcript, and let's say you have a 3.3, you automatically get $3,000 off your tuition for that semester. And these are renewable for up to 4 years, as long as you maintain a 2.5 unweighted high school GPA, college GPA at WKU. And we do like to mention that we do have a new scholarship rolling out in the beginning of the fall, and that's named our Border State Scholarship. So with this scholarship, all Tennessee residents will now receive in-state tuition to attend WKU. So that's probably our biggest scholarship that we're rolling out this year, and we're really happy about it. So we think that's going to attract a lot of people. So yes, we do have that Border State Scholarship, and you guys will be getting that in-state tuition price. So this is just our other scholarship portal. We like to make all of our scholarships really easy and accessible for you guys. So we do have a scholarship portal, and it has over 1,200 scholarships on there. It's called Top Dollar. You'll log into Top Dollar once you finally get accepted to WKU, and you'll fill out a short little application. It'll just ask you like what you did in high school, what you want to do in college, what you are interested in, what you would like to major in. And it pairs those scholarships just for you. So you won't have to go search through that entire website. I know that could be a lot. You won't have to go search through those scholarships, all of those on that site. It'll pair them just for you. This scholarship portal did close on February 1st, but there still are some on there. If you are thinking about applying to WKU, you can still log on there and check for those. But like the presenter said before, if you are a junior, this is just for you. So applying to WKU, our online application takes about 15 minutes to complete, and it can be found on our admissions website. The only things that we'll need is a current high school transcript, and we will need a final high school transcript once you do graduate from high school. And we will need a $45 application fee or a fee waiver. And to just verify that fee waiver, we will need just verification of that from your guidance counselor after high school. And we don't require any essays or letters of recommendation for acceptance to WKU. So test scores are only required for students that have a 2.0 to a 2.49 unweighted high school GPA, because we have gone test optional. So like it says at the bottom, if you have a 2.5 or higher, we won't need your ACT scores for an admissions decision to be made, but if you have less than that, we will. So like I said, my name is Michaela Kennard. I'm your admissions counselor for the state of Tennessee. If you guys ever have any more questions, I'm totally happy to get those answered and figured out for you. That's just my contact information. I'll leave it up there for a second. But yeah, if you guys ever have any questions about WKU, I'm your gal. Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our representatives are here and available to answer any questions that you have. And if you have a specific question for any of our schools, to also note the school name. It's really helpful. The next representative is from Bellarmine University.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. No matter who you are welcome here at Bellarmine University. So from the moment that you connect with us or walk on campus or go to class, you are a part of our community. You will see the pineapple on your screen, and that just represents hospitality, and it really speaks to who we are at Bellarmine University. My name is Dia Garcia, and I serve as the Assistant Dean for Regional Recruitment, and I am local to the Nashville area. I love to connect with students and families, so you can jot down my contact information, and just please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about anything. Here is Bellarmine at a glance. We are a small, independent Catholic liberal arts institution located in Louisville, Kentucky. So it's essentially the best of both worlds, because we have that small campus feel, but we're located in a large metropolitan area. Your average class size is going to be no more than 20 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 11 students to 1 professor. Our campus includes about 50 different buildings over 145 acres. If you have the opportunity to visit, I encourage you to do so, because it really is a beautiful campus. 22% of our students are considered minorities, and 22% are also in living learning communities. So they're able to make that connection with the people that they're living with, and then also taking classes with. Diversity is something that's really important to us at Bellarmine. So again, no matter who you are welcome here. There are lots of reasons that students do thrive at Bellarmine. So briefly, I am going to discuss meaningful connections and transformative experiences which lead to successful outcomes. So at Bellarmine, we can guarantee that you will graduate in just 4 years, or that 5th year is going to be on us. And we can make this guarantee because of the commitment and connections that we have with our students. You'll be assigned an academic advisor the summer prior to entering into Bellarmine, and you'll meet with that advisor each and every semester to ensure that you are on track for graduation. We have an excellent faculty and staff who are here as your resources here in the Bellarmine community. Here are some of the traditions that we have at Bellarmine so that you're able to make those meaningful connections. The image that you see on your screen is from Ball on the Bell. And you can see that our students are having just an excellent time. Ball on a Bell is a costume party that's held each and every October on a boat. And so that's just one of the many traditions that we have. And I will note that our plans are to be back on campus in full swing in the fall semester. So that's something that we're really excited about. But even in the midst of a pandemic, our students were still involved in a safe and social way. We just transitioned to Division I sports on last year, so we're really excited to be on the new competitive level. We are part of the ASUN conference, and we have 20 different sports teams, 10 men, 10 women. We also have a dance team, a cheerleading squad, and a pet band. So if you want to be involved, you absolutely have that opportunity. Related to transformative experiences, we give students the opportunity to study abroad in a program or country of their choice. And then we also have over 70 different student organizations for students to be involved in. That's going to include leadership opportunities, civic groups. We have Student Government Association, Alternative Spring Break. Basically, whatever you want to be involved in, you have that opportunity. And those meaningful connections and transformative experiences lead to successful outcomes. We understand that one of the main reasons that we are attending institutions is so that we can graduate and be gainfully employed after graduation, making positive contributions to society. And you have that option here at Bellarmine. Our first destination rate is at 99%. And that means that 99% of our students are either gainfully employed with a full-time opportunity, or they are attending graduate school. So we're really proud of that statistic that we have here at Bellarmine. Related to the application process, seniors, we do have rolling admission. And if you are a junior, you will be able to apply beginning in August. You can apply directly on our website or on the Common app. Our application is free, so you're not going to miss out on anything by applying. And the only required materials are going to be that transcript and letter of recommendation. We understand that test scores are not always an indicator of college success, so you as a student get to decide if you want to submit those scores or not. And then what's a conversation about college without talking about financial aid? And we at Bellarmine have a pledge of affordability for you all. I definitely encourage you all to visit our website to learn more about the financial aid options that are available to you. Here are some important next steps and related to dates and deadlines. And I know that's a lot of information in a short period of time. But again, please reach out to me if you have any questions. And I'll just end by saying, go Knights.
Very helpful. Thank you. Just another reminder, there's been some great questions coming in through the Q&A. So feel free to submit any questions that you have along the way. Again, our representatives are here to answer your questions. Our last representative, but certainly not least, of this session is from the University of Louisville.
What's up, y'all? Hello out there in virtual world. My name is David, and I am an admissions counselor for the University of Louisville. Let's get rid of my face on here. So we are in Louisville, Kentucky. We're named after the city, and we are 10 minutes from downtown. So you can see downtown in the picture here. I'm going to show you a picture of campus in a second. We're in an urban environment, but we're not right downtown. So that student that is looking to be in an area where there's always something going on, something to do, but then you still are getting, a college campus feel. We're going to meet all of those needs. What's nice about our campus is we're not that large. While we carry a big name, and if you know Lamar Jackson, L's up for the youngest Heisman Trophy winner in NCAA history, he went to the University of Louisville. We're big on sports, but we're not that large of an institution. About 12,000 full-time undergrads attend the University of Louisville each year. So our freshman incoming class is around 3,000 students each year. And what's nice about campus is you can get anywhere in 10 minutes. Because we're not that large, it's going to help with those class sizes. So what you're experiencing in high school is about what we're going to have at the University of Louisville, 1 professor to 24 students. What's great about our campus is that we are a research university. So that means all the professors that you're learning from, that you're engaging with, they're doing current research in their field. So if you're that exceptional student and you're making connection with your professor, you can do undergraduate research while you're at the University of Louisville. And if you're hearing my accent, I do not sound like I'm from the South. 1 in 4 students is not from Kentucky. You're going to hear a lot of different accents, on our campus. We're proud of our diversity, and we want you to come up to campus and add to what we have going on. So here's that campus that I keep talking about. It's flat. There's no hills. You can get anywhere in 10 minutes. You're living, you're eating, you're sleeping, you're going to your classes right on this nice campus. You can see all the athletic fields down here at the bottom. Every sport at the University of Louisville is free except for men's basketball and men's football. Those are discounted tickets to students. Or you could join the special student group for athletics, where you get your tickets early, and half of the money that it costs to join that student group actually goes to our largest student group on campus, which is the Raise Red Dance Marathon. And it's an 18-hour dance marathon that raises money for pediatric cancer research. So when you're at the university, we want you to study. I'm going to touch on academics in a second, but we want you to also have fun, to learn, to engage with other students. So joining a student club, using our career center, that's one of the best parts about being in Louisville, is we're in the economic hub of Kentucky. So using the career center that's on campus to help you with job shadowing, internships. There are some majors that already have that built into the program, but for others, if you want to get in your sophomore, your junior year into the quote unquote real world, use that career center. About 6,000 students use the career center each year. So this is the main reason, right, why you're going to school, to study something. So there's a lot to cover in a little time that we have. So I'm just going to highlight some of the big programs that we offer, but I'm really going to suggest that you go online and do some research. Search U of L majors, or any of the schools on here that you heard. Search majors and go check out some of the different majors that they offer. We're known for our College of Business, the Speed School of Engineering, our Sports Administration program, which is a nationally ranked program, criminal justice. We do have a School of Nursing, which is really cool, is that we're downtown, in downtown Louisville. That's where the nursing students go. So they're on our campus for 2 years, and then they go down in the medical district. So we do see a lot of biology, psychology, chemistry students. We do have a law school and a dental school. So we get a lot of those pre-professional majors because they want to come, they want to be part of the student groups, and then they want to be in that environment where they're getting ready for the next steps, in their graduate school. This is, a big part of college is where you're eating and where you're sleeping. So this is part of the food that is on campus. And yes, we have Chick-fil-A, don't worry. There are 2 Starbucks on campus. One is in the library, so no reason why you don't know where the library is when you're getting your studying in. And the stars indicate residence halls. You do have to live on campus at the University of Louisville for 2 years. So your freshman year is mostly probably going to be a traditional style hall, while there are some suite and apartment styles available. Upperclassmen are also living on campus. 60% of students that attend the University of Louisville are living, in that 10 to 15 minute bubble right there on campus. So it's more likely going into your, sophomore, junior year, that's when you're going to get that suite and apartment style living. Let's talk about applying. If you know any current seniors, we are a rolling admission school too. So the seniors, if you're still out there and you want to apply, you can. If you're a young underclassman on the call or a junior, August 1st, that's when our application is going to go live. You can apply from our own website or go on the Common App. You get to choose, juniors. Do you want to send us test scores, or do you want to apply without test scores? It's up to you. There's a $25 application fee, and special dates, because we're rolling admissions, we don't have a hard deadline on when you need to apply, but there are special dates when it comes to scholarships. So there are special deadlines for some of our competitive scholarships, which is December 15th. But other than that, May 1st is the normal deadline for, not only for scholarships. And for being an out-of-state student, where's my screen? Okay, there it is. For being an out-of-state student, we have 2 major scholarships for you to help cut down on the cost of going out of state. For Tennessee students, there's the regional award and the national award. So depending on where you're at in Tennessee is going to determine which scholarship is available to you. Go on our website, especially, after the summer. After the summer is when we're going to update scholarships. Go on there to check out what we have to offer. That's what I got for you. L's up. Go Cards. I was about to leave the meeting. I don't want to do that.
Thank you. All great information shared by all our representatives tonight. We do have some time left, and so we're going to go ahead and pivot now into our Q&A portion of this webinar. And so I'll ask all our representatives if they can turn on their cameras to unmute themselves, and we'll go ahead and get started with our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and begin in the same order in which you all presented in.
So I would say just ask as many questions as you can, especially if you are new at this. That's what we're here for. Reach out to your admissions counselors, ask all the questions you have. No question is too small, no question is too big, and there are no dumb questions. So yeah, ask questions. And
I would have to say my biggest word of advice when I was going through my college search, not that long ago, actually, I would probably have to say, make sure you go and visit campus. I know when I came to WKU, that's how I knew WKU was my home. As soon as I stepped on campus, it's just a feeling that you get. So I highly recommend getting to go out and travel to campuses if you have the option to. But yeah, that's my favorite way and my best way I like to encourage students to really find their college.
I would echo both of those advices. So yes, make sure that you connect with us because we are your resources, and then make sure that you do connect with campus. You might not be feel comfortable or have the resources to travel to all of the institutions that you are connected with, but we have virtual visits that are options as well. So make sure that you are just very active as far as exploring our websites and reaching out if you do all have questions.
While you may not know where you want to go or what you want to study, you need to start looking at scholarships right now. We're getting bombarded right now by seniors saying, what else can I do for scholarships? If you start this process now, taking a look at what's out there, learning on what the deadlines are, that's going to help you ultimately, in trying to get more money to go to college.
Awesome. All great advice. And again, I always say it's helpful to hear directly from those who work at the respective institutions to give advice. So thank you. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? Again, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So I think I'm just hungry right now, but my favorite event is probably the midnight breakfast. It's right before midterm or finals. They do it twice usually. So what it is EKU will make a huge buffet of breakfast food at midnight, and everyone goes and gets pancakes and waffles and biscuits and all these things. So that's my favorite thing, especially as an undergrad there. Free food is great, especially in college. You want free food, always say yes to free food. But yeah, I would say midnight breakfast.
My favorite tradition probably is like our red towel tradition. But we're kind of founded on our former basketball coach, E.A. Diddle, would always take a red towel with him to all of his basketball games. He would like chew on them, throw them around, and it kind of just became a staple for WKU. So if you attend WKU, you go through your college career, you get red towels for like graduation, any big events that you do participate in. And at this point, I think I collected like 30 red towels throughout my college career, and I'm going to make a blanket out of them one day. So that's a really cool tradition that we have here at WKU.
As I mentioned during my presentation, community is something that's really important to Bellarmine. And so we have an awesome dining hall that's on campus, and we collect our student birthdays, and you will get a special cupcake specifically for you, and you'd be sung happy birthday on your birthday when you visit the dining hall.
So Louisville is home to the Kentucky Derby, the fastest 2 minutes in sports. And the call to, I forgot what the official name is, but it's the trumpet, the do, 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 do. So there's a band major that actually gets paid, that you get a stipend to be part of the band. They get a little extra money to play that before the football team runs out on the football field. Kind of a weird tradition, but it's kind of cool before the football team comes out.
Love it. I always love hearing about the different traditions on each campus because that's what truly makes each school unique. Our next question is, give an interesting or fun fact about your school.
So something interesting about EKU is we actually have a Daniel Boone statue near the library, and it's kind of a superstition thing for us, but he has a golden toe, and whenever anybody goes to take a test, we just kind of rub that toe and hope we have good luck on the test, which most people do. I've passed most of my tests. Yeah, I passed all my tests whenever I rub the foot, and if I didn't rub the foot, I didn't do so great. But yeah, I think that's really unique about us. We have that statue, the golden toe, and that's usually one of the biggest signatures that people know about us. And if you go on a campus visit, everybody has to take a picture with Daniel Boone. So if you come see us, you got to take a picture.
At WKU, we do have white squirrels on campus. I know it used to be like a long like rumor kind of going around that a long time ago, a chemistry professor was like experimenting on squirrels and somehow one of them became white. And that's just kind of the legend that's been going on with that. But yeah, every time you see a white squirrel on campus, it's proven that you're gonna have a good day, you're gonna do well on a test that day. Everything's just gonna be great. So if you do see a white squirrel on campus, good luck is coming your way.
Some fun facts related to Bellarmine and the experience as a student is that all of our students are guaranteed scholarships, and that all of our students are guaranteed the opportunity to do an internship if that's something they're interested in.
To get a little spooky, there is a justice of the Supreme Court is buried on campus. So at our law school, his wife and him are buried right there on campus, and law students will take cookies, animal cookies, crackers, and they will put it on his tombstone as good luck because he gave away animal crackers to his staff members.
Nice. Fun facts, again, always great to hear. We do, have other questions, so we'll keep rolling until whatever we have time for. And again, people are still submitting questions through the Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions that come to mind. The next question is, what is the number one question that you receive from students going through the college search process? Again, what is the number one question that you receive from students going through the college search process?
The number one question I have received is probably, can I afford it? Is college going to be affordable to me? Like I said, we are a school of opportunity, so a lot of our students are first generation. And the answer is always yes. We have specific scholarships for that. We, help guide you in the right direction, and we make sure that you get to where you need to be, and we'll do whatever we can to help you get to start your higher education career. So absolutely, that's the biggest question I get.
Kind of like EKU, we do get a lot of questions about scholarships, but recently I have been getting a lot of questions about how students can get their family involved on campus and throughout their college career. So we do have a lot of events for your family to get involved. And then we really like to make your family and your parents involved just throughout the entire admissions process. So attending orientation, getting signed up for classes, we want them to be there with you for that, just because these are big decisions that you're making, and we would like them to be involved every step of the way too.
I believe that all of the students that we're recruiting and having conversations with are unique, and so some of them have the same questions and some have different questions. I will say that financial aid is something that we probably all hear a lot, and at Bellarmine we have the pledge to affordability. Something that I've been hearing recently, especially after the year that we had in 2020, is about opportunities for connections, and then how our students did on last year related to the pandemic. And we're happy to report that students were very satisfied with their experience at Bellarmine. So a lot of the questions right now are in anticipation of how things will be in the fall semester.
Besides getting, how do you pronounce, your university, your city, you can say Louisville, The locals pronounce it Louisville. So you choose. It is, what is this? People want to know what the school is. And so jump on all of our websites, check out the YouTube videos, the little blurbs that we have about students talking about their experience, just so you can kind of get that picture of what it would be like to be at that institution and like who we are.
Awesome. That's great. Again, I think oftentimes as students, you're trying to figure out and decipher, and any questions that you're just kind of like, what are the common questions? Like, am I the only one asking this question? So it's always great to hear from college representatives. So thanks. So the next question that I posed to each of you is, what are some ways that students can begin preparing for the college search process? We have students, who are just getting started, and some who've already been nose deep into it. So what is some things that they can start doing wherever they are?
Some things they can start doing is visiting campus. There's always campus tours everywhere. And I believe somebody else mentioned how they felt at home when they went to campus. That's another thing. It'll help rule out a lot of your options. So visit campus, see if you can see yourself there. If you can, learn everything you can about them, see if they have what you want, and then proceed from there.
My biggest way I feel like you guys should start preparing would be just to do your research. Go on universities' websites, really get to know like their application process. I know I wish I could go back to my high school days and junior year, just start to realize that like school is super important. Like all of your like test scores and your GPA and all of that matters when it comes to applying for scholarships and things like that going into college. So just really focus on your studies, get to know your colleges, and do your research.
Definitely echo information about research and knowing the colleges that you're interested in. And while you're doing that research, make sure that you jot down the important dates and deadlines. So you can do that at this time because our dates and deadlines are likely to stay the same. Know when the application opens, know when they're due, if they offer rolling admissions, specifically know the scholarship deadline so that you do have your affairs in order. And make sure that you just have conversations, with your guidance office. So what things do they offer as far as resources to you and for you? So just make sure that you're communicating with them and that you're asking for help, but then also thanking them for the work that they're going to be doing on your behalf by sending your materials, including your transcripts and letter of recommendations and things like that.
Feel like I've heard from this generation that you're just not afraid to like reach out to people on social media and ask them questions. So former students, maybe you were on a team with somebody or a club, reach out to them, ask them maybe what their experience was like, what did they like, and while you may not like the adults and parents in your life because they might be putting pressure on you to get it organized and everything, talk to them, have a conversation about what are their thoughts, and just try to open up that dialogue.
Yes, very helpful. We still have a little bit of time left, so we'll wrap up with this last question, and that is, how is your school preparing for the fall? I know this was mentioned a bit earlier, but it's probably still circling in a lot of people's minds. So if you all could touch a little bit on what you know, of course, on how your school is preparing for the fall.
So EKU is very well prepared so far for the fall. We have multiple plans in order in case, I think it's like plans A through Z, depending on what goes on with the pandemic. But right now we haven't had any huge outbreaks or anything. I think the most outbreaks we had was maybe staff, but no students had it. So that's great. Knock on wood that stays the same. But as of now, we are planning on going back to campus, try to keep it as normal as we can. And just implement as much safety protocols as we can, but make sure you all still feel like you're on an actual university campus. So that's how we are prepared.
Like EKU, we're going through all of our Healthy on the Hill guidelines, and we're planning to be fully open in the fall, pandemic permitting, of course, but we are planning to have everything back in person, having more on-campus events. with larger amounts of people, still following like the social distancing guidelines as it may be this fall, but we are planning on having, everything hopefully back to normal, and having a lot of kids join us in the fall.
Bellarmine implemented a COVID-19 task force in March of last year. So that group has been evaluating our plans for an entire year in relation to what we will do in the fall semester. And as I mentioned earlier, we are happy to report that we will be back on campus. We also do daily screenings as far as COVID-19 is concerned, and then we're offering vaccinations to students and staff who are interested in doing that.
The goal is to be open. We announced it. We're going to try to, but we follow the science. It's dictated by what's happening in the city. While we are going to do our best to make campus feel safe, we're still going to have some protocols in place. We're going to still, make sure that we're doing what we can to be on the science and make sure that that we're safe. Yeah.
And that's really all you can do. I thank you all for just sharing. I think it's always helpful, especially when we think about what the fall is going to look like. And it's just great to hear that there's things in place, people are having conversations and discussions, and I hope that that's been really helpful to you all as attendees. So thank you to our panelists. What a great Q&A session. Thank you for being flexible. Again, all great information being shared. I find it really helpful, so thank you. And thank you to each of you for joining us. We have reached the conclusion of this webinar, but before we close, there will be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback will be greatly appreciated. And this session will be recorded, and all sessions will be recorded and will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Tennessee. Again, thank you all and have a great night.